If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
So yeah, Daytona just happened, man. What a crazy weekend this was for this race. Was just so fucking crazy, man. And by the way, I hope everyone likes that new intro. Been working on it quite a bit. So yeah, the new intro for 2022 for the NASCAR videos or any racing content in general. But yeah, still, what a weekend of racing. You know, I went over to Arca East and Modifieds racing in earlier videos, so we're going to go over everything in this video that happened at Daytona this week. So let's get started on it. So, starting off, we had qualifying. Oddly enough, Reddick did not win the pole. I thought NASCAR would have manipulated it for Reddick, but they didn't. It ended up being another HMS front row again, as Kyle Larson won the pole for the 500. So Larson became the 5th driver, the 5th reigning Cup Series champion to start on pole in the 500 the following year, and the first to do it since Jimmy Johnson in 2008. So yeah, the 500 starts with Larson starting back up where he left off, being fast. And Alex Bowman got his 5th consecutive front row start in the 500. Man, why the fuck do I keep betting against HMS in the 500 qualifying? Like, HMS is goddamn beast in 500 qualifying. Like, goddamn, I gotta learn to not bet against HMS. Like, one thing we learned in Daytona 500 qualifying, if you're in an HMS car, you more than likely have a really good shot at starting on the front row or on the pole. But yeah, man, just damn. But yeah, anyway, now to the dual races. Well, Duel 1, the Duel 1 was completely fucking boring. Like pretty much, once Keselowski got the lead, it was all Keselowski and the Fords from there, because everybody that was not on a Ford took 4 tires, and then the Fords took 2 tires to get track position and hold the lead. And yeah, Keselowski, he easily cruised to the win. So in Keselowski's first race at Daytona in his new team, Keselowski wins with Roush Fenway Keselowski. And then we get the Duel 2. Where nothing pretty much happened in that race too, until the last lap, when Joey Logano would try and make a block on Chris Buescher, and Buescher would not have any of it and would turn Logano straight into the wall. Yeah, Logano, take that, you fuckface. That's what happens when you drive like an arrogant tool. You go straight in the wall. Take that, Logano. That's what you get for acting like an arrogant prick. So yeah, both duel races were swept by Roush Fenway Keselowski, with Keselowski winning Duel 1 and Chris Buescher winning Duel 2. Holy shit, Roush Fenway's actually become somewhat competitive again. Man, we kind of needed this. We kind of need Roush Fenway being good again. It's been a while. I think Roush fans are finally happy about this. Roush Fenway finally has hope. Maybe bringing Brad Keselowski in was the right move for the team after all. Get some new blood in at ownership. And then we get to the truck race, where the truck race, not a whole lot happened till the last lap. Like, John Hunter Nemechek, he dominated the race, but then he got caught in the wreck. Yeah, there were quite a few big ones late in the race. Hailie Deegan, she had her top 10 run dashed by a big one. So then it goes to overtime. And then Shane Smith, he would happen to get to the lead just as they were wrecking on the back straightaway. And then the caution comes out right as Shane Smith took the lead, and Shane was the leader at the moment of caution. So Shane Smith gets the win in his first race with Front Row Motorsports. So, damn, Front Row Motorsports, they're so good at super speedways no matter what series it is, whether it be Cup Series or Truck Series. Front Row's definitely made some progress for sure. God damn. But yeah, that last lap crash. Remember that last lap crash. But yeah, anyway, with Shane Smith winning, it means that Shane Smith, he becomes the first driver to lock himself into the Truck Series chase for 2022. So yeah, Saint Smith, congrats on making the chase. Now, Saint, the question is, can you do what Todd Gilliland couldn't do at front row? And that's take them, make it past the first round with them. Because front row, they had a great season last year, but they couldn't make it past the first round. Can Saint Smith do what Gilliland couldn't do in the fall? Find out in October to find out. But yeah, anyway, now we get to the ARCA race. The ARCA race was fucking terrible. The fact that this series isn't fucking dead yet is fucking amazing. Like, ARCA, the ARCA series, it's no longer a fucking tragedy. It's a fucking comedy at this point. But yeah, Corey Heim wins after Drew Dollar hit the wall on the last lap. But keep in mind, the way Drew Dollar hit the wall on the last lap, it was the exact same way that truck race ended Friday. But yeah, in the truck series, that was a caution. But in ARCA, nope, it's race back to the line. And Corey Heim, he would get the win easily. Like, it was Corey Heim's race from start to finish. Like, Corey Heim really had next to no challenge. So yeah, Corey Heim wins. Let's be real for ARCA. Corey Heim is more than likely winning this championship because Corey Heim's season last year, it would have been more than enough to win the title any other year that Ty Gibbs wasn't in the series. Except last year, Ty Gibbs ended up being in the series. And yeah, Ty Gibbs ended up being better than Corey. So now with Ty Gibbs out of the equation, Corey Heim should have an easy path to the championship this year. So yeah, Corey Heim's more than likely winning the ARCA championship this year. So now to the Xfinity race. Xfinity race, it was pretty tame for much till near the end. Like, Daniel Hemrick, he picked up where he left off, winning the first two stages. And then we would get a big one with around 20-something to go, which would take out quite a few cars, including Hemrick. And then it would be smooth sailing. Like, most of this race overall was dominated by the colleague cars, mainly Daniel Hemrick and AJ Allmendinger. And Allmendinger, he would get the lead at the white flag. And then on the back straightaway, the last lap, once we got to the back straightaway at Xfinity, all hell broke loose on the last lap. Because then we get to Myatt Snider's crash, where Snider would get a shot in the back from Anthony Alfredo, and Snider would get loose and go straight up into the catch fence. The catch fence completely ripped his entire fucking car apart. Like, his entire rear axle ripped out of his car. Like, you all saw the photos of the crash in the community post I had on it Saturday night. Like, that crash was fucking scary. Like, even the engine got ripped out of the car, and then Snider's engine got hit by Matt Mills and landed in the infield. Like, in the grass. And yeah, Snider's car came to rest on all four wheels, but whatever was left of the car, it wasn't stuck in the fucking catch fence. And then Snider, he was able to get the window net down almost immediately, and he was able to climb out of there very quickly, which that's a good sign to see Myatt Snider walk away from that crash after all that. Because, yeah, that was a scary fucking crash. Like, that crash kind of looked like Tony Stewart's crash in the 500 in 2001. The way he just went up, the difference is he went in the catch fence and Tony Stewart didn't. Like, that catch fence completely ripped Snider's car apart. Because when a car goes in the catch fence, it's the equivalent of a fucking cheese grater. It just rips it right apart, layer by layer. And the crazy thing about it is that Bubba Wallace and Michael Jordan were right near the catch fence. And neither of them got injured. Like, hell, even part of Myatt Snider's front suspension ended up right in the grill at Denny Hamlin's motorhome. Because they were at Hamlin's motorhome getting ready for a 23-11 team meeting before the 500. Since Hamlin was in the broadcast booth for this race. So yeah, I think just Snider's crash and the fact Snider was able to walk away from that, I think it's just a true testament to how far safety has truly gone in the last 20 years or so. Like, safety's come a long way in NASCAR, but then again, every now and then, we just get reminded that in the end, auto racing in general is a very dangerous sport. That's just it there. So, yeah. But yeah, also through all of that, the question is who won the race? Well, the winner was Austin Hill. as Austin Hill is officially a winner in the Xfinity Series. As while that was all happening, Austin Hill would make a move and get past Allmendinger just before the caution would come out. And Austin Hill would edge out Allmendinger right at the moment of caution. So Austin Hill gets the win. So Austin Hill, he gets the win for RCR in his first full season in Xfinity. And Austin Hill will be the first driver to lock himself into the Xfinity chase this year. Man, congrats to Austin Hill. I think there was no doubt Austin Hill was making the chase this year. We all knew Austin Hill was going to make it into the chase this year. The question is, how competitive is Xfinity going to be? Because there's at least 11, 12 teams that are going to be competitive this year competing for the title. And also, I did know about that one banner, about that one coin that was flown above the track. No, we are not talking about fucking politics in this video. We are not going to go into that rabbit hole again. Maybe not until Talladega, when the fans do the inevitable. Because you all know the fans are going to do it. But we're not going to talk about that here. All I say is, though, congrats to Brandon Brown on his top 10 run. Let's go Brandon Brown. And I mean that in a non-political way. Alright, let's just move on. Okay, now to the Cup race, the Daytona 500, the granddaddy of them all. So yeah, this 500, like the first stage, it was mainly just a single-file freight train. Like, as soon as the race started, everybody went to the high line and went freight training on the single-file line. I guess everyone's just doing a big old convoy on the high line with Brad Keselowski and the Fords. Mainly leading that convoy. And then to the last, near the end of stage 1, we would get our first mini big one with at least 8 cars involved. It would take out William Byron, also take out Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain. And then we would have also take out Denny Hamlin. And of course, rookie Harrison Byrne, who was battling for the lead at the time. It started with Keselowski giving a bad push to Harrison Byrne and getting him loose. And then after Harrison made contact with Hamlin, Harrison would then get airborne and blow over and do a flip. One flip before landing back on all 4 tires. So we had a blowover. So yeah, all I have to say for Harrison Byrne on that incident is, hey, welcome to the Cup Series, kid. You're officially one of us now. Welcome to the Cup Series. Sorry you had a painful welcome in. But this crash for Harrison, this was your official initiation. So yeah. But yeah, everyone, I've heard a lot of people talk about how to fix this problem. Here's the thing, that type of crash from Harrison Byrne, there's no real way you can prevent that crash. Because NASCAR's tried everything they could to prevent that crash. And it keeps happening. Everyone thought this crash wouldn't happen with the new car. It happened. They'll find a way to make it happen. Like, there's no way NASCAR could keep the cars off the ground on a super speedway. It's gonna happen, you know. There's no way NASCAR could stop the laws of physics and gravity. You know, what goes up eventually comes down. Like, I heard everyone's best solution I've heard was, you know, get rid of Daytona and Talladega, and that was the best solution I heard. And that was also the dumbest solution to this problem. Because, yeah, that's a dumbass idea. Like, if you get rid of Daytona and Talladega, that just kills the sport entirely. Especially getting rid of Talladega, which is a fan-favorite track, and has a really great atmosphere in the infield when everyone's having drunken parties. Well, whenever people aren't fucking obsessed with politics out the ass. But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, at Daytona, they're not going to get rid of Daytona. Especially with the 500 being the crown jewel. That's not going to happen. Anyone that thinks getting rid of Daytona 500 at Daytona is a good idea might be a fucking idiot. But yeah, and then, you know, stage 1 went to Truex. Stage 2, it was just more freight training. You know, we had a little bit of tandem drafting too, which I love to see that. You know, give a couple shots there. And Mark Truex Jr. ended up edging out Joey Logano with a photo finish to edge stage 2. And then Truex would get crash damage in stage 3 from a 5-car incident. So, yeah. Just, you know. And then stage 3, well, stage 3 was mainly a two-lane convoy for much of that stage. you know. But at the end, it was looking like it was going to be between Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric. And then with around 10 to go, we would have our next big one, which would start with Kyle Larson making a bad push on Kevin Harvick, and then Harvick would get loose and end up turning it up into Gragson and wrecking everybody, taking out a number of cars. Yeah, Gragson gets wrecked out in his Cup Series debut. Damn it, now I'm sad. Especially with Kyle Larson getting taken out too, man. Larson just cannot catch a break on super speedways. Like, Larson just has the shittiest luck on super speedways. Like, goddamn, are we ever gonna have a super speedway race where Larson doesn't get involved in an incident? Like, I feel like if we have a challenge for Kyle Larson that says don't get involved in a crash at Daytona and Talladega, the difficulty for that task would be damn near impossible. Like, what does Larson have to do to get a break at Daytona or Talladega? God damn it. You got a number of other cars got torn up too, man. Yeah. And then we would get another mini big one with around 5 to go when Keselowski would make another bad push on Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who also got to the lead late. And then Stenhouse would end up making contact with Chris Buescher. And then Bubba Wallace would also get a little damage too, but Bubba stayed out with that damaged car, because Bubba lost the right front fender that covers the wheel. But yeah, and I feel bad for Stenhouse, because Stenhouse really did nothing wrong in a super speedway race. Like, literally, Ricky Stenhouse is literally the most overhated driver in the sport. He literally gets hated for no reason. Like, the main thing I've heard Stenhouse get hated for is being chosen at JTG over Ryan Preece. When, to be perfectly honest, in the 2 years that Stenhouse and Ryan Preece were teammates at JTG, Stenhouse outperformed the living shit out of Ryan Preece. Like, Stenhouse has done more with less around him than Preece. So yeah, I never criticized keeping Stenhouse over Preece, because that was honestly the right move. Because Stenhouse was outperforming Preece and doing more than Preece at JTG. Maybe things will change in 2023 when Ryan Preece gets the 10 car at Stewart-Haas inevitably. We'll have to see. But yeah, man, Stenhouse, he really didn't make any dumbass moves on a super speedway for once. He really didn't make any moves to jeopardize the field or wreck anybody. Like, Keselowski was driving very aggressively, like Keselowski was just making a bunch of dumb pushes that weren't gonna work. So then the race goes to overtime, and then in overtime, Austin Cindric would get a push from his teammate Ryan Blaney to the lead. And then Austin Cindric would then hold charge, and despite a late push from Bubba Wallace, coming to the start-finish line, it would not be enough, as Cindric would make an aggressive block on Bubba Wallace, and then Cindric would edge out Bubba Wallace for the win by inches, by at least, I think it was like 4/100ths of a second. So Austin Cindric gets his first career win in the Daytona 500 in his rookie season. So Austin Cindric is officially a winner in the Cup Series, and is a Daytona 500 champion as a rookie. So yeah, Austin Cindric, he becomes the first rookie to win the Daytona 500 since Trevor Bayne in 2011. And Austin Cindric, he gets his first career win in his 8th career start. God damn. So congrats to Austin Cindric. Well deserved. I think we all knew he was going to be great in the Cup Series the moment he got called up and got the 2 car, because the 2 car is Penske's flagship car. Like, that's his main baby, is that car. You know, driven by a lot of greats, you know, like Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski and Rusty Wallace. So yeah, Cindric had some pretty big shoes to fill the moment he came in the Cup Series. And in 1 year and in 1 race with that car, he did something that Rusty Wallace, Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski could never do in that 2 car. Win the Daytona 500. So yeah, with Austin Cindric winning, Austin Cindric becomes not only the first driver to lock himself into the chase, he becomes the first rookie to lock himself into the chase. And Austin Cindric also becomes the 5th rookie in the 5th driver in NASCAR history to make the chase in his rookie season, joining Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, and Cole Custer as the only drivers to make the Cup Series chase in their rookie season. And to be perfectly honest to God's truth, I had Austin Cindric making the chase this year. I did not think Cindric was going to win because I thought he was going to have some rookie struggles this year. But I thought Cindric was going to be consistent enough and get enough points and point his way in. But here's the most shocking part about all this. I think the most shocking part about Cindric's first career win is that it didn't happen on a road course. It happened on an oval. In fact, it happened on a super speedway of all places. In fact, the Daytona 500 of all races. Because to be perfectly honest, I think everyone had it being like a road course like COTA or Road America or Watkins Glen or Indianapolis or something down that line. One of those tracks, I think everyone had Cindric in there for his first career win at that track. Like, honest to God's truth, I felt like if Cindric was going to win a race this year, it was going to be Indianapolis. Because out of all the road course races Cindric ran last year, that was the one where he had his best finish at and looked the most impressive out of all those races Cindric ran last year. But man, Cindric, he shocks the world and pulls off the upset as a rookie. Wins the 500 in his rookie season. Now can Austin Cindric, can he become the first rookie since Denny Hamlin to win at least 2 races in their rookie season? And by the way, if anyone's wondering, the record in the modern era for most wins by a driver in their rookie season is 3 wins. By Tony Stewart in 1999 and Jimmy Johnson in 2002. So yeah, I think Cindric because I think Cindric's more than likely going to win a road course race this year. So now the question is, can Cindric tie the record for most wins by a rookie in NASCAR history? He needs 3 wins to tie the record and 4 to break it. Can Cindric do it? We'll find out later this season. But man, like, what a crazy weekend. Like, what a lot of craziness happened. Like, there's one thing I learned with these cars is that, well, these cars, their suspension is very fucking fragile on a Gen 7 car. And that these cars cannot take a fucking hit to save their damn life. Because, yeah, there are a lot of suspension failures. But now the question is, how much longer does Penske and Roush Fenway-Keselowski keep their good times going? Because they did have wheels confiscated earlier in the week after they made some, quote, illegal modifications to the wheels, mainly the lug nut area. Now, Brad Keselowski said that that whole thing was not a performance enhancement, but it was more like a safety concern. It was more like for safety reasons. But NASCAR's like, no way, Jose. You made illegal modifications. You can't be safer than the rest of us. So now the question is, what kind of penalty will the Penske teams and the Roush Fenway-Keselowski teams get? Because if NASCAR's going to penalize them, there's going to be penalties possibly because this entire thing involved every single team from Penske and Roush Fenway. So that includes the 6 of Keselowski, the 17 of Buescher, the 2 of Cindric, the 12 of Blaney, and the 22 of Logano. So the question is, are they just going to slap him on the wrist and give him a warning? Or is NASCAR going to throw the book at him and make an example out of both teams saying, hey, you do not fuck with this car. We were serious about not making illegal modifications to this car. Oddly enough, this entire thing, the first team to try and make a modification to the car against NASCAR's will, it's not HMS for once, or JGR. Man, it kind of feels weird that HMS wasn't the first team nabbed for cheating. And if Penske and Roush Fenway get penalized for this, let me just clear the air here. We're not going to make fun of Penske or Roush Fenway for cheating. We're not going to make fun of them for that. No. If we make fun of those teams, it will be because they were dumb enough to get caught. That's the difference right there. But yeah, next week though, NASCAR heads to Fontana next week with Cup and Xfinity. So yeah, NASCAR finally returns to Fontana, and more than likely will be the last race on the 2-mile configuration before they do that Hot Wheels short track. But yeah, and also IndyCar season starts next week at St. Petersburg. So yeah, now it'll be IndyCar's turn to open the season in Florida. But yeah, man, what a crazy week of Daytona week. And congrats to Austin Cindric, man. But yeah, the NASCAR season has officially started. You know, even though football ended last week, NASCAR's next big sport comes it back. NASCAR. So, yeah. And it was actually a very sold-out crowd. At least 130,000 fans in attendance. Like, I'll say it's preferred. I heard the atmosphere was very good, alive, and well. So, yeah, I think Kamikaze's game's prediction about NASCAR being dead is not going to age well. Because from the sounds of it, NASCAR sounds far from dead. But they still got a long ways to go. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I gotta say. See you all for Fontana next week. NASCAR Heavyweight Champ, out.